Beginning, the soldier with no future. My name is Lieutenant Marcus Hale, formerly of the Terran Vanguard's 3rd Expeditionary Division. Formerly, because after the siege of Rax Delta, they medically discharged me with honors, medals, and a politely worded letter telling me I'd given enough blood for humanity. They didn't mention the nightmares. They didn't mention the way silence felt louder than artillery. They didn't mention that I had nowhere to go. So, I went to the only place where a broken soldier could still disappear, the multi-species capital station of Aurelius Prime, the beating heart of the Kithari Empire. It floated like a jeweled crown over a gas giant, its golden spires reflecting light like a promise. Humans weren't exactly rare here anymore. After the Triaccord peace, Earth and Catharia became allies. Veterans were offered integration opportunities. That meant you could apply for roles in imperial research, logistics, or if you had a stomach for politics, in court service. I never intended to apply, but fate, if it existed, had other ideas. I was eating a bowl of broth in a cheap human-friendly stall when a message pinged my datapad. Your war dossier has been automatically forwarded to the Imperial Court for evaluation. My jaw dropped. Forwarded? By who? I muttered. The answer came instantly. By recommendation of Empress Lystria IV. My spoon clattered to the table. The Empress? Why would she? The datapad buzzed again. Your presence is required at the Court of Ascendance within 48 hours.
Well,
so much for disappearing. The Court of Ascendance. Aurelius Prime's palace wasn't built for humans. Its halls were tall, arched, shimmering with pale crystal. Kithari were tall, elegant aliens, lithe, long-limbed, with bioluminescent streaks through their silver hair and eyes that shifted color with emotion. I walked past guards wearing living armor, creatures bonded symbiotically to their bodies. They watched me with the polite curiosity one gives a stray dog. Lieutenant Marcus Hale, a melodic voice echoed. A woman stepped forward. Not a woman, a Kithari high scholar. Her robe flowed like liquid starlight. I am Scholar Vela. I will conduct your record review. My record? I asked. She nodded. Every human applying to the Imperial Court must undergo a full assessment. But I didn't apply. Her glowing eyes blinked.
no.
You were nominated. By who? I almost asked, but the answer came when the massive doors to the court opened. She entered with the grace of a comet. Princess Saraline of the Kithari Empire, heir to the Golden Throne. I had seen her in broadcasts, eyes like molten silver, hair cascading in strands of soft luminescent gold, features carved from aristocratic perfection. She was young, barely in her 3rd decade by human years, and rumored to be more curious about humanity than any royal before her. But broadcasts did not prepare me for the real thing. She was radiant, regal, overwhelming, and she was looking directly at me. Lieutenant Hale, she said, voice soft as wind chimes. You're here, finally. Finally? Scholar Vela bowed low. Your Highness, we are ready to begin. The war record evaluation should take 3 hours. Then let us not waste a moment. The princess glanced at me. Walk with me, human soldier. I walked. Because what else does a discharged soldier do when a princess commands him? Middle, the princess, the soldier, and the war dossier. We entered a semicircular chamber with floating hollow screens, each activated with a pulse of Princess Saraline's hand. Marcus Hale, she said softly. Age 32. Enlisted at 19. Survived 12 major engagements. Awarded 3 Crosses of Valor. Commended for bravery in the fall of GRYST 4. Saved 86 civilians during the Turn Bastion breach. I swallowed. Your Highness, Why am I here? She looked at me then, not like a soldier, not like a subject, with something else in her luminous eyes. I reviewed thousands of human dossiers, she said, and none were like yours. A hollow projection flickered, showing a scarred battlefield, smoke thick as fog, bodies everywhere. My body in the frame wasn't graceful or heroic. I was dragging a Kithari medic, bleeding, half-collapsed, screaming into comms that I wasn't leaving without every survivor. I winced. Didn't know there was footage. The medic's armor recorded it, Caroline whispered. She waved her hand again. Another video. Me standing against a charging Vraxen war beast, twice my size, firing until the barrel melted. Scholar Vela cleared her throat. His actions meet the criteria for trans-species heroism. There is precedent for awarding him imperial honors. That is not all, the princess said, voice suddenly shimmering with emotion. Continue the review. The room darkened. A final file appeared. Classified. Marked with both Terran and Kithari sigils. Operation Ashfall. My blood froze. No, I whispered. Not that. Caroline looked at me with soft sadness. The mission you survived alone. The one where... I don't want to talk about it. You will not be forced to, she said immediately. Then she turned to the scholar. Skip it. Scholar Vela hesitated, then complied. And that was the moment something changed. Because royalty never says skip it for a human. Ever. So why did she? The princess's truth. After hours of review, comments, holograms, and a dozen questions about my record, the scholar finally bowed. Your Highness, the assessment is complete. Caroline nodded. Leave us. Scholar Vela blinked. Just the two of you? Alone. Yes, the princess said firmly. The scholar exited so fast her robe fluttered behind her. Caroline turned to me. And suddenly, she wasn't a princess. She was a girl with fear in her eyes. Marcus, she whispered, I requested your dossier for a reason. I gathered, I said softly. Her glowing eyes dimmed. I reviewed every human soldier who fought beside us. Because I sought someone. Sought. She took a breath. In Kithari culture, heirs must choose a consort of honor before assuming the throne. Not a political match. A partner selected for courage, heart, and devotion. Someone capable of standing beside a ruler in times of darkness. My voice dried up. Okay. My council submitted hundreds of potential consorts from noble houses, she continued. I rejected them all. And then I found her name. She stepped closer. You saved one of my cousins during the Skyrift ambush. You carried him 6 kilometers under fire. That was your cousin? I whispered.
Yes.
He told me you laughed while bullets flashed past you. I was delirious, I muttered. Caroline laughed softly. When I saw the footage, when I saw your record, I felt drawn. Her cheeks shimmered with faint gold, Kithari blush. I thought, here is a human who carries honor the way stars carry light. My breath caught. She reached up, touching my chest lightly, just above the scar tissue. I made my decision. Decision? I echoed. Caroline folded her hands. Marcus Hale of Terra, I claim you as my future husband. I nearly choked. You what? It is a royal right, she said simply. The princess may choose a consort from any allied species. I stared. Caroline, we've known each other for 2 hours. Yes. She tilted her head. Is that a problem? It's, princess. This is insane. She blinked. Is it? Your Earth marriages often involve less logic and more chaos. That's not helping. She stepped closer again, eyes glimmering. Do you object to me? I know. That's not it at all. I stammered. You're stunning. And kind. And way out of my league. League? She frowned adorably. I do not understand that term. It means you're royalty, and I'm just a veteran with PTSD and bad luck. Saraline's voice softened like velvet. Your scars do not frighten me. Your ghosts do not shame me. I want the man who stood against monsters and did not bend. This is too much, I whispered. I don't belong in a palace. You belong where your courage leads you. She touched my cheek. And it has led you to me. The storm in the court. Her declaration should have ended with applause. Instead, it ended with a political explosion. The next morning, I was summoned to the Grand Council. 12 nobles, each taller and more ornamented than the last, glared at me like I was a cockroach on the throne. One slammed his staff. This human cannot be consort. Another hissed. His lifespan is too short. The air needs stability. A third spat. Humans are impulsive, emotional, wild. I cut him off. I'm standing right here. Exactly, he snarled. And that is the problem. Princess Saraline stepped forward. My decision stands. Your Highness, an elder noble said quietly. With respect, your father would not approve. My father is dead, Saraline said, voice turning cold enough to freeze starlight. And as heir, my choice is final. I should have stayed quiet, but I'd fought too many wars to let someone else take fire for me. Maybe I should decline, I said softly. Saraline whipped toward me, eyes blazing silver. Do not dare. Saraline? You think I chose you lightly? She hissed. You think I know nothing of you? I've read everything. I've seen everything. You fit me, not because of politics, but because of the fire inside you. Nobles murmured disapprovingly. Saraline raised her chin. The court has spoken enough. Marcus stays. And he remains under my protection. A ripple, shock and outrage, spread through the chamber. The eldest noble sighed. Then the human must undergo the trial of worth. Saraline's face drained of color. No, she whispered. What's the trial of worth? I asked. A test, the elder said. The chosen consort must face a challenge. If he fails, the claim is void. Fails how? I asked carefully. You die, the noble said. I blinked. That's straightforward. Saraline grabbed my arm. Marcus, I forbid this. You can't forbid it, the elder replied. The trial is law. Saraline turned to me, trembling. It's too dangerous. I looked at her, looked at the nobles, looked at the throne behind them. I'd been a soldier my whole life. Danger was the only thing I understood anymore. I'll do it, I said. Saraline's breath hitched.
No.
I'll do it, I repeated gently. Because you chose me. Let me choose you back. Her eyes shone, liquid silver gathering like tears. Then may the stars guard you. The trial of worth. The trial arena was carved into the underbelly of Aurelius Prime. Black stone, ancient carvings, echoes of battles thousands of years old. The challenge was simple. Survive against a Kithari void sentinel, a creature bred for war, 4 meters tall, armor like obsidian, strength to tear through tanks. I stepped into the arena with nothing but standard human combat armor and a shock spear. The sentinel emerged, massive and horrific. Somewhere high above, Saraline watched behind a shielded viewing wall. The creature roared. The battle began. It charged like a meteor. I barely rolled aside, its claws gouging trenches in the stone floor. I jabbed with the spear, sparks. No penetration. It swung its tail. I blocked, was thrown like a rag doll, slammed into a pillar hard enough to crack ribs. Pain exploded across my chest. The sentinel stomped toward me. I staggered up. I'd faced worse. I'd survived worse. I wasn't dying today, not when a princess had chosen me. Come on, I growled. I've had hangovers meaner than you. The sentinel lunged. I dodged under its arm, jammed my spear into the joint. The shock pulse made it real. Not enough. It grabbed me, lifted me, threw me across the arena. Blood filled my mouth. I crawled up. Saraline's face appeared behind the glass, eyes wide, glowing, terrified. The sight of her fear, it ignited something in me. Human stubbornness, human fury, human refusal to die. I ripped the broken spear shaft from the ground, sprinted toward a fallen pillar, climbed it as the sentinel charged. Time slowed. It leapt. I leapt. I landed on its back, grabbed the power conduit behind its neck, and with every ounce of strength left in me, snapped it. The sentinel convulsed, roared, collapsed. Silence. Then, trial complete, a voice boomed. I slid off the creature, collapsed to the ground, gasping. The arena doors opened. Saraline ran toward me, protocol be damned, knelt beside me, hands trembling over my wounds. You insane, reckless, magnificent human, she whispered. Do not ever scare me like that again. I managed a bloody grin. Does this mean I passed? She laughed, sound like falling stars. You passed. Ending, claimed by the princess. The grand hall was packed for the consort oath ceremony. Banners of gold and silver hung from crystal pillars. Kithari nobles lined the sides, some muttering, others grudgingly respectful. I stood on a circular dais, wearing ceremonial armor forged specifically for this day, interwoven human and Kithari design. My scars had been healed by Imperial Meditech, but some marks remained. I liked it that way. The scars told my story. Princess Saraline approached in a gown that shimmered like the dawn. Her glowing hair floated slightly, reacting to her heightened emotions. When she reached me, she took my hands. Marcus Hale, she said, voice steady, ringing through the hall. You stood before death without fear. You faced our greatest trial. You bled for our people. You protected my kin. And when the galaxy doubted, you remained steadfast. Her thumb brushed the back of my hand. In accordance with the laws of the Empire, I claim you as my life partner, my chosen consort, and my equal.
Equal.
A human. Equal to a princess. My throat tightened. The elder noble stepped forward with a ceremonial medallion. Marcus Hale of Terra, do you accept the bond of honor? To stand by the heir, to protect her, to share in her future and burdens. I looked at Saraline, looked into her shining, hopeful eyes. Yes, I said, with everything I am. The hall erupted in cascading chimes, Kithari applause. Saraline smiled, radiant, unstoppable, and lifted my chin. Then by right of the imperial lineage, she kissed me, a soft, luminous, world-tilting kiss. When we finally parted, the hall was roaring. I whispered, so, I'm your husband now. You are, she said proudly, consort of the future empress. And you're sure about this? I teased gently. She leaned in close. I reviewed every war record in the galaxy, she breathed. And I still chose you. Epilogue, a future written in starlight. Later that night, we stood on a balcony overlooking Aurelius Prime. The gas giant swirled below, painting the sky with gold and purple storms. Saraline leaned against me, her warmth and bioluminescent glow soft in the night air. Marcus, she whispered, are you happy? I looked at her, This alien princess who saw worth in a broken soldier. I didn't think I'd have a future, I said quietly. I thought war took it from me. And now, I took her hand. Now the future looks beautiful. She smiled, resting her forehead against mine. Good, she whispered, because this is only the beginning. I wrapped my arms around her, feeling, for the first time in years, like I truly belonged somewhere. The soldier with no future, claimed by a princess. And together, we stepped forward into a new destiny, written in love, courage, and starlight.